Hi guys, it's your girl Tacha Abrus. If you are new to this channel, please kindly like and subscribe. We have interesting tutorials coming up every week. If you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for being here. So on today's video, we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful halter neck backless dress. It's a quick and easy tutorial, and it's a beautiful dress that you can wear for an evening stroll to the beach or anywhere, maybe probably an evening outing and all. So I'll be using this flower crepe fabric. You can use any soft flowy fabric of your choice to give it that flow because it's a circle dress. So first of all, I'm going to put my fabric on bias fold. I'm using 2 yards of this fabric, by the way. I'll put my fabric on bias fold. Then I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement. So I'll just mark half of my shoulder measurement on the fabric. So half of my shoulder measurement is 7, so I'll mark the half of it. So I'll rule a straight line. That will not act as my starting point. That half of my shoulder measurement, I'm going to rule a straight line to indicate it. Please kindly bear with me. My chalk was fine. I was finding it difficult to work with this chalk because the pigment wasn't dark enough. So now I'm going to mark my armhole depth as well. Then my armhole depth, on my armhole depth, I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement there as well. Then I'll bring half of my shoulder measurement down. I'll just rule it with a straight line as well. So now this is half of my shoulder measurement. It's not straight because the fabric is on bias. So now I'm going to mark 1/4 of my bust measurement. My bust measurement divided by 4. I'll mark it on my armhole depth. Then I'm going to put my shoulder slope and my neckline and my allowance. These parts are not really necessary, the neckline and the shoulder slope and the armhole curve, but I'm just doing it in case you want a simple circle dress with a neckline. You can follow this method and you've gotten your circle dress. If you don't want to cut yours off at that neckline, you just want a circle dress, you can follow this method, the armhole curve and all of that. So I divided my armhole into 2 and inserted my armhole curve with my curve roller. So I'm adding 1 inch allowance for this. So after that, I'm going to be marking the length of my gown. So the way you cut your circle dress is from your starting point, you are going to place your tape and mark the length of the gown. Then as you go round, since it's a circle dress, as you go round, you make sure that you pin your tape at that starting point and be marking your length all round. You don't mark it straight. If you mark it straight, the length will not be equal. So I'll just mark it all round. By the time I'm cutting, you will see what I mean. Then I connected from my allowance straight to the length of my gown. By the time I'm cutting, you will see what I mean. I didn't know that my camera didn't capture that part. So now I'm coming down by 1/2 inch from this neckline because I don't want my neckline to be too high. I'm coming down by 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it slanted. I'll just connect a slant line to the armhole point of my dress. So I'll just connect it slanted that way. So after that, I'll just go ahead to cut the gown. So I'm going to be cutting from the length. So this is what I mean by the circle. By the time you pin your tape to that part and you're marking the length all around, you will not have it straight. This is how you have it. It's on bias fold. So I'll just cut from that part that I ruled a straight line to the armhole line. So now I'll cut the slant line, but I'll be adding 1/2 inch because I'll be taping it in with a bias tape. So I'll add 1/2 inch to the slant line there. So after that, I'll just place the other part of my fabric where I'll be using to cut the back. I'll fold it on bias fold as well. So I'll place the front of my fabric, that I've already cut, the front of my dress, I'll place it on the back as well, since it's going to be the same thing. Just the only thing that will change is going to be the neckline of the back, because the neckline is not going to be a V like this. My neckline at the back, you can make yours straight if you want, or you can make yours a bit slanty if you want your back neckline to be deep, but make sure that everything starts from your armhole point. So I will put this part of the fabric, I'll fold off that line where I have my armhole. I'm just going to indicate it to the back, and then from there I'm going to draw a curve or slanty neckline at the back, because that is going to be my middle back. So if you want yours to be curved or slanty, so now you notice I didn't cut out that excess that I had at the side. I left it dead because I'm going to put an elastic at the back of the dress. So I want it to have a bit. By the time I put the elastic, it's going to be a bit tight. So if you don't add any allowances, it might be too tight. So now I just cut out the length of the back as well. So I'm going to notch the middle point of the front, so I'll be able to know, identify where the middle point is by the time I'm done. Now for the back, on this neckline, I'm going to be piping it. I will use an extra strip. I will cut an extra strip that I will use to pipe in it, because I'm going to put an elastic through it. But if you don't want to cut an extra strip, make sure that when you're cutting your back, you add the allowance you will fold in to pass your elastic through. But me, I'll be using this strip to pipe in it in. So I'll just take it on my sewing machine now, and I'm going to run the strip through it, and I'm going to cut my elastic that we used to pipe in it, that will be putting through the pipe, sorry. Then for my front neckline, I'll be cutting an extra strip, the one that will be enough for me to tie at the back, or if you want yours to be tied, or you want to pin it to the back as a gown, as in strap, you can do it that way. So I'm going to pipe it in as well. So now I'm done sewing the back piping, so I'm going to be passing my elastic through the piping that I already made with the extra fabric. So while inserting my elastic with the safety pin, I'm careful to make sure that I don't let the edge go in, because by the time the end of the elastic is going close to the piping part of the fabric, I'm just going to secure it with a pin first of all. So I'm watching as I'm taking it in, I'm watching it closely, so I don't have to do a double work. I'm not going to be doing everything over again. So by the time I get to the edge, I'll just first of all pin it, then I'll continue before going to the machine to secure my elastic. So I'm done with inserting the elastic. I've secured it with my sewing machine. So that is that for the back. Now for the front, I've already ran the piping line from the back to the front. So now I'm going to now sew it. I'll just sew it all through to this strap. I'll just put it on fold, and then I'm going to cross it and secure it as well. So I've gone to sew it all. So this is what I have by the time I'm done sewing. So I secured it all through to the strap, then I crossed that part so that it will be secured in place. Then what is left to do is I'm going to pin my dress from the elastic part, the starting part of the back, to the starting part of the front. I'll pin it down, then I'll do the same for the other side, and I'll just go to my sewing machine and just run a straight line. I'm just going to sew it on the 1 inch allowance that I left initially. So that is all that is left to the dress. I'll just take it to the machine and sew it down, and then I'll hem the bottom of my gown, and that is all for this dress. Quite simple to make. Now I'm done sewing it here, then I'll display it on the mannequin for you to see. This is the end product of the dress. Please guys, kindly like my videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If you have any requests of any tutorial, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. Thank you so much guys for watching. Thanks for all that you do. It's bye for now guys. See you on my next one. Bye.